Anti-racism is on everybody's mind. Your suppliers, your customers, your investors, and any other stakeholders. It's on everybody's mind. If your organization has already discussed diversity, equity, and inclusion or unconscious bias, now it's time to discuss anti-racism. In our anti-racism training, we discuss what's going on right now. So you will understand what is racism, what is systemic racism, what are implicit biases and microaggressions. And we will really give the foundation of knowledge to all of your people and a common understanding and a vocabulary to address that issue. What's important to remember is that racism has not been discussed in that matter for the past 400 years. And so at first it started, in the past about, letting black men vote and then allowing black people to go to segregated schools. And as Rosa Parks showed us, to let black people sit anywhere in a bus. After that, there were some, theoretical training and courses about racism. Now we're moving beyond teaching what is racism. Now we're teaching how to actively practice anti-racism, and that's very different. Companies need to know now what are the micro inequities that black people are facing, and that for indigenous peoples are facing, and that other people of color are facing as well. So Blue Level training answers those questions. We discuss what are some microaggressions that are common, and what are the biases under these microaggressions, and how can I address racism in a way where I don't create a racism accusation shutdown? How do I communicate with empathy? And how do I tell my coworker that I don't feel comfortable discussing racism without making my coworker feel that the progress of its group is not important? It's practical solutions for everyday life. How do I make this not political? Because at the end of the day, it's not a political topic. We help everyone in your organization understand how they can be an ally and how they can be part of the solution. A lot of traditional training on diversity and inclusion or even racism, we would hear people come out and say, but what can I do next? Well, with Blue Level training, it's impossible for you to leave without a long list of what you can do for the whole year. In fact, we will build a plan with you. And when you invest in anti-racism as an organization, you communicate to your BIPOC employees that you actually have their interests at heart and that their professional advancement at heart as well. And you need to remember that even if your organization is not made of diverse group of people, for example, with not a lot of people of color or black people, it doesn't mean that your employees are not in relationships or even in love with people that are from those groups. So everyone right now will see what you're doing as a gesture that shows that you actually care. When you invest in anti-racism training, you show your BIPOC employees that you respect them. And they're like, oh, okay, my employer has my best interests at heart and my career advancement at heart as well, because my employer is requesting anti-racism training annually, and that builds trust. If you don't take anti-racism from Blue Level training, at least take anti-racism. Do this for your employees. As an organization, you have the power to impact so many people, and that impact with your anti-racism training will go beyond your four walls. It will impact your community. It will impact your suppliers, your investors, your customers. There's so much that you can do just with that one training. When you invest in anti-racism training, your investors and any other stakeholders will see that as a big move in the right direction.